Welcome to the Planet 63 Virtual Business Matchmaking Show, the next evolution of discovering Philippine and U.S.-made products and services. This is the show that helps create global sales opportunities and bring Philippine and U.S.-made products and services go from local to global. Thank you for watching the show, and now please welcome the host of Planet 63 from Local to Global, Ferdinand B. Soriano.
You know, in the world of international trade, one of the most important tools, I think, is market research. Data. Don't you agree? Now, it mitigates risk. If you think about it, obviously, it lessens the fear of the unknown. And when you're trying to expand your market, like the United States, which is huge, you need all the help you can get and all of the information you can get. Now, my name is Ferdinand B. Soriano, your host for the special edition of the Planet 63s from Local to Global. And I'm also the founder of Planet 63, a sourcing and logistics management company based in the United States. Now, the overall purpose, the overall purpose of the show is to create awareness and buying opportunities for Philippine-made products in the U.S. market. In this episode, I want to talk about the importance of market research. I don't necessarily want to talk about what the definition of market research, but to actually offer samples of market research that can be valuable to Philippine manufacturers regarding the U.S. market. Now, who knows? Some other people might find it interesting, so hopefully you do. Now, in this episode, I want to talk about, again, like I said, the market research, right? Now, one of the reasons that I wanted to cover here is that Planet 63 has been able to consistently provide value to our clients. One of the reasons for that is because we are associated with the Cal State University San Bernardino Global Access Program. Now, they've collaborated with us, they've supported us in terms of creating opportunities for Philippine markets. What they've done is they've created amazing market research for Philippine manufacturers to digest, to read, to study about the U.S. market and its potential for Philippine products. Now, to help me dig into this, I wanted to introduce an amazing writer. He's a current student at Cal State University San Bernardino who is majoring in international business. He's also a student intern participant for the Cal State University San Bernardino Global Access Program and is, of course, an intern with Planet 63. I want you to all please welcome Mr. Joseph Videz. Hey, Joseph, how are you, buddy?
Hello, Ferdinand. I'm great. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. Too nice.
No, I mean all of it, because the first time you and I spoke and you turned in the first market research that you were doing, it wasn't boring. You wrote pretty fast. You gave a lot of pertinent information, great resources, and you were able to be insightful and know what I think a lot of the Philippine manufacturers need to know about the U.S. market. So I do appreciate that. And with that being said, I will turn over the camera to you, so to speak, and let you go ahead and give us a little bit of an understanding of what you do.
Okay, great. No problem. Thank you, Ferdinand. I appreciate it. So as Ferdinand said, my name is Joseph Videz. I am currently a senior in the Cal State University of San Bernardino. I have my majors in international business, specifically an interest in marketing. I will be graduating in the coming year, so I will be getting my BAs in international business. And as Ferdinand said, I am his intern with Planet 63. Thank you to the Global Access Program, over at Cal State University of San Bernardino, and their supervisors, Jamie Ayala and Dr. Vipin Gupta, who have given me this great opportunity in being an intern for a business such as Planet 63 that source and kind of find marketing research for these international companies, which is what I'm really into. And thanks to Dr. Vipin Gupta's, actually one of his courses that I took in Management 4050 for management across borders, it kind of taught me a lot of how we kind of create these papers and how to put them together for future aspects and markets for different companies in the international field. So that's kind of different than domestic. That has a whole lot of different type of demographic research that I like doing. Like for Ferdinand, I do plenty of research for him, and I never find it boring. I'm always looking for an opportunity to kind of find out about new products and what other countries are looking to sell as well.
I think a lot of the things that that you bring to the table when it comes to being an intern or research is that, like I said, your methodology and how you basically do it. Not only do you relatively do it at a quick pace, but you're very insightful. And I don't know. Obviously, that has a lot to do with also with all the courses that you're taking at the university and things of that nature. But that's what I really like about what you do with these market research that you've been doing, and you've been doing quite a lot for me. I mean, that's why this show is going to be, there's going to be a lot of content that I like to go ahead and make sure that I deliver to Philippine manufacturers, because you not only have done this particular industry, but there are a lot of other industries that people will be surprised. And then that's what we're going to try to bring out today. It's one particular industry. But before I tell them about what the paper is all about, is there anything else you wanted to add about the Global Access Program, about Cal State San Bernardino, and your plans for the future in terms of what you want to do?
Yeah, actually. So I just kind of wanted to give like a big shout out to the Cal State San Bernardino resources. As you were saying earlier about how I accumulate all this information, and that is thanks to the directors that also showed me where to get this information and kind of how to determine if it's reliable or not. So it's all thanks to them. It's all kind of information put together through scholarly articles and a lot of trustworthy sources. It's not just a lot of random things. And kind of a lot of the courses that I did take, a lot like Dr. Vipton's management course, have taught me a lot in where you can find research and how you can tell if it's reliable or not. And that's all thanks to the resources over at Cal State San Bernardino.
Yeah, obviously, what I found interesting was that your ability to, for the school to support you in every way, whatever research you need. I mean, a lot of the places that you did your research, I didn't even know existed. So again, the reason why I keep kind of going back to this whole thing is that I want the Philippine manufacturers to know that, like you said, it's not something made up. It's not something that you just Googled or whatever. I mean, you did some Googling, I guess, I'm sure. But the resources and the data and the numbers that you came up with, and they'll see that in your presentation, have been in some of the most amazing research resources that, in terms of the numbers, in terms of the growth, in terms of the potential for these things are amazing. So I sort of want to set them up before you do your presentation, with this whole thing. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and start describing what your presentation will be about. And again, it's not a presentation, it's a market research, or you got some really amazing things that you want to not only tell the general public, but also obviously we're focused on the Philippine manufacturer, because at the end of the day, Philippine manufacturers, please listen, because this is what you're going to need to be sort of confident and feel good about wanting to get into the U.S. market. And I think that's what I'm trying to set up Joseph Vides's presentation. But the presentation that you're about to do is, when I asked you to do the research, you were thinking about, I told you to research a company in the Philippines called Hardy Harvest Food Products. Boy, they're going to be amazed at your research. They didn't even know that we did research on them. Anyway, it's a family farm. They create amazing chocolate products from cacao beans from the Philippines. And as you know, most of the cacao beans everybody knows is like from South America, and I think Africa, I think also, right?
Africa, Europe, Belgium are a lot of the famous ones.
Right? So the cacao beans is obviously, that's what makes the chocolate, right? And every place, I don't think the Philippines is actually known for that. And here we are, we're trying to introduce this company, and we're trying to send a message. message. Listen, Hardy Harvest. Listen to Joseph's presentation, and hopefully all the other cacao manufacturers or finished companies that make products out of cacao. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and before he starts that, let me go ahead and go into a little, well, I guess you could call it an infomercial, commercial break. At the end of the day, these are the people that support Planet 63's From Local to Global show. So let me go ahead and see if we can get one of their videos of one of our supporters. And when we come back, I will have Joseph tell you all of his amazing stuff he found out about the industry here in the US when it comes to cacao. Thank you. Hold on.
Ever wonder how to export and sell products in the USA? Ever wonder how to export and sell products globally? You're lucky you found us, because we've got exactly what you need. Introducing ShopSariSari.com. What is that? Shop Sari Sari is the leading marketplace for Filipino exporters. We sell globally to consumers and major retailers. We're a one-stop shop in importing your product and getting FDA approved. Check this out. Sell with the major brands. Registration is free. Sell in the mainstream channels. We sell your favorite Filipino brand. What do our customers think? Mark Araulio says, "Thank you for assisting me in getting my FDA approval in the United States." Anna Vergara from Arkansas, USA says, "I am thankful ShopSariSari.com was created." And from Paris, France, "I can't believe I got Filipino products delivered straight to my doorstep." What are you waiting for? Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or email us if you have any questions. Visit www.shopsarisari.com. For suppliers, sign up for free at www.shopsarisari.com/supplier.
And we're back. And for those who just tuned in, please welcome to Planet 63's From Local to Global. And the purpose of this show is to create awareness for Philippine products in the U.S. market, as well as buying opportunities for Philippine manufacturers here, obviously, in the U.S. market. Today is a special edition of Planet 63's From Local to Global. We're talking about market research. And joining me today is a student, a gentleman, scholar, however. He is a great intern over at Cal State San Bernardino, University San Bernardino. And he is currently in the Global Access Program as a student intern, as well as with Planet 63. And what he's been doing has been creating or putting together amazing market research that is not your run-of-the-mill, so to speak. It's not like a long, extensive market research. I always want to go ahead and let people know that. But the purpose of these summarized market research is just to encourage Philippine manufacturers, just enough for them to feel like it's worth it for them to be in the U.S. market, and that it's an amazing market to be in. Because when you're trying to expand your market, sometimes you are sort of hesitant about whether you should go there. Is it worth it? What's involved? Because at the end of the day, if you feel like it's a giant opportunity, you're going to do everything you can to put all your resources together to get to the U.S. market. And one of our Planet 63's goal is to really empower a lot of the Philippine manufacturers, and the people that's helping Planet 63 do that is, like I said, Cal State University San Bernardino Global Access Program, as well as this amazing gentleman that I'm about to bring up. Again, he is a writer, amazing writer of market research. I keep saying that. Student intern at the Cal State University San Bernardino Global Access Program, as well as he's majoring in international business. Please welcome back again, Joseph Vides. Hey,
Hello,
Joseph.
Ferdinand, thank you. Hello, Ferdinand. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get right to it, because I'm sure people are going, "Shut up, Ferdinand! Shut up! Stop talking." Let me go ahead and hear what the guy has to say.
You have plenty to say. You have plenty to say.
So why don't we go ahead and put the presentation up on the screen, and then sort of just hit the highlights, because you and I are going to keep going back and forth and talk about the significance of some of the things that you're seeing. Okay, again, this is a summarized version of what the U.S. market is all about for this particular industry, and I'll let you tell them about the industry that you're about to talk about. Okay, Joseph?
Okay, no problem. So this is a little small part of the research paper I put together. So it is on hardy harvest. Some of the key findings for this paper are the barriers to entry for the cacao industry, the competition within it, the global, regional, and local revenue trends, the business concentration within the US, and our recommendation for the type of market within the US. So I wanted to go briefly over the objective again one more time, and that's just the purpose of this paper is to provide marketing information on the cacao industry from the US for the future starting from 2021. So I kind of wanted to start off with kind of just a broad picture, a big picture, and that's going to be globally. So globally, we have per Mordor Intelligence and ICCO.org that they have recorded and expect that the prices for cacao are going to rise 9%. And even though the prices are going to rise 9%, they are still preparing for a 17% increase in consumer purchasing within that industry, even though there is a 9% price increase. And that's because for this industry, there is a lot of appeal to it. And we're going to kind of get into that specifically later, kind of what the target markets are and why they spend so much on this product, even though the price is increasing at an alarming rate. So with that being said, we're going to move on with kind of which type of companies would benefit mostly from this kind of high cost rise to the product. And that would be, fortunately, small companies. And that's because they have small production costs, which kind of outlay the need for big kind of batches that you would from a bigger company. So with that, they can kind of go under the radar with their small production cost and still be able to compete directly with these big companies that have to spend so much on their product. When Hardy Harvest is a company that makes their own, they have their own farm, and especially in the Philippines, that's a whole new taste that hasn't really been really seen here in the US. It's mostly for like European chocolate and things from like Africa, South America, and things like that. So the South Asian market could have a huge impact with different tastes, which is kind of what we're looking for. It's a whole new taste. With that being said, again, so now coming into the United States now instead of globally. So the United States is seen and is projected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of 4% from 2020 to 2025. So the reasoning for this projected rise in revenue for the cacao industry is because of the high demand power and consumption pattern of the consumers here in the US. What do I mean by all that? Well, purchasing patterns can be kind of, even if the price is rising, they're still gonna purchase because of the income. So the income, our wages are coming up a little bit, even though the price of living is still going up. That's all right with these kind of buyers, because with these products, they're willing to pay the premium price for a premium product. And again, Hardy Harvest offers distinct Southern Asian taste of chocolate, which is different than South American or anything in Europe that can be provided, or Africa.
Joseph, let's stop there a little bit. What's so amazing about what you said is that obviously, you know, it's again, you're just reiterating that the United States is an amazing market. It's huge. You know, from 2020 to 2025, you're expecting a CAGR of 4%, right? And yeah. I think overall, chocolate has always been, you know, I'm trying to make it realistic or apply it to today, right? More than ever. Sometimes I think, and this is just a side comment on my part, chocolate will always be chocolate. Everybody will always want to eat the chocolate, not only because it's something that's already ingrained in our head, it tastes good. And now you're about to say that it actually helps you, you know, health-wise. So now you're definitely going to get more people to eat this stuff. But obviously it's a different taste. I like what you said about the bite size. the concealable snacks. And yes, the millennials are really into making sure that what they consume is premium. And
Yeah.
how does that translate to the Hardy Harvest? Again, that should be something that they should be excited about, because in the U.S. market, that's the pattern, right? I mean, is that what you're basically saying in that, or that's what you found out from those research?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. So, kind of with that being said, it's just um, the millennials again, especially in like Southern California. This is kind of where the highest trends of consumption are seen within the U.S. So it can kind of be broken down into three major cities. The number one being California, Los Angeles. The other following would be like New York and Florida, Miami, Florida. So kind of with that being said, it has a lot to do with the demographic. Again, like you said, it is health wise. The dark chocolate has a lot of antioxidants that help kind of relieve the body and kind of set it into like an equilibrium stage, a stage kind of that milk chocolate can't offer because it's too sugary. So with things like that, it does appeal to the millennial audience only because of social media. So whatever they see on social media being up and coming, especially kind of like fruit trends and stuff, which is the most kind of searched, and because people like to eat, that's kind of the number one way when we get together is kind of eating. So with these small snacks, it's kind of appealable for them because they can multitask. So they can eat these small bites, or again, you can add them to drinks since they're so small and they melt in these hot drinks. And you can have like a 2-for-1 special type of product, which is really comes in handy for the U.S. citizens that usually are always busy. So they're usually always working, and so with these kind of concealable hand products, it appeals to them more rather than having to unwrap a chocolate bar that melts and it gets all over their hands and things like that. This one is can kind of like they can choose their little amounts of servings, and that's why it's kind of in this market it is different. So
See, I like what you just said. I like what you just said, because obviously, when you're trying to market a new product in a new market, obviously, it's all about the packaging, and the presentation. And I think that's what I get out of it, from what you just said. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, especially, I can't help but always put COVID into the picture, right? Not to
yes,
make it, not that you need more information about COVID, right? At the end of the day,
yeah,
Joseph, you know that it's all over the place. But obviously, there's a lot of things going on in our lives that these are, I guess you would call them comfort food, I guess, to a certain degree, right? And
yeah,
now with your research, you're again emphasizing the health aspect of it, and it's a different taste. You're right about Africa. You're right about, I think, South America. Yes, it does it differ in terms of the taste and the way they make certain things. But at the end of the day, I think what I like about the cacao beans, it's the quality, because a lot of people don't realize that in the Philippines, in my opinion, people, that it's a default in terms of organic, because the Philippines has a lot of volcanoes, right? And when those things, back in the day, or when it did happen, all the surrounding fields were covered with ashes and things like that, and that also helps the soil become organic. And obviously, it's a tropical paradise. That's what I like to call it, at least. And so, a lot of this stuff you could research it, and it's in by default, obviously, organic. It's just a matter of every farmer has a certain style of the way they grow their product. I mean, their crops, but this particular company, I think, is on its way. They're very conscious of how it is to market their product here. So, I mean, how to manufacture and package their product. So now, tell me a little bit about some of the. I mean, I'll let you get back into the other, because I'm reading it as you go. Also,
yeah.
the research, the places where you research it. Again, can you sort of cite some of the places where you've found all this information, Joseph?
Okay, yeah. So like a lot of the nutritional facts I did find from kind of the more trendy magazines, more recent in the 2021 year. They would be from like healthline.com, and a lot of it has came again from the icco.org. So that's where I got a lot of the nutritional and health information regarding the dark chocolate, and not only of their nutritional facts, but for dark chocolate as well as the rise in demand for dark chocolate, kind of how it's kind of a whole another division to measure. They are also dark chocolate is kind of also rising in demand, and just for that reason, just for their health reasons. So that one is actually rising at an even higher rate than chocolate itself. The dark chocolate is at a 5%, compounded annual growth rate from 2021 to 2025, and that again has a lot to do with the social media kind of shining light onto these new ways of eating, because nobody would have thought, especially dark chocolate. Nobody likes dark chocolate. It kind of has a weird taste and it's not as sweet as milk chocolate. But because of the health benefits and because of this product, the way it can be eaten and put into drinks, it kind of could give it a different taste that people are not used to. So that information again is thanks to Healthline Magazine and icco.org.
Well,
And
again, that information, a lot of people don't look at it. Again, those are practical observation when you're marketing something, and how you would go ahead and focus your resources. Because the things about Philippine manufacturers is that sometimes, in general, when you have when you're trying to get into a new market, budget is everything, right? So having these type of information, whether just knowing, encouraging people to go on social media and do all of those things, and market your product that way, is precious in terms of information and how they're going to disseminate the information. The thing that I liked about that last paragraph, or the last point that you made, was you said, or you wrote, it says supermarkets are interested in bringing in more market traction by introducing European and foreign foods and creating international opportunities for a greater influx in players investing. Yeah, I tend to really, I believe in that, because obviously everybody, the U.S. market is so diverse that they're always looking for something different. You know what I mean? It could be like everybody knows chocolate, but like, again, reiterating it again, this is more a salute or a heads up to the Philippine manufacturers that yes, the U.S. market is always looking for something unique, but it has to be of high quality. People, high quality. Remember.
yeah, especially these they're kind of like specialty candy shops, or kind of the main focus, because they carry such a high variety of these products that people, instead of going to a regular supermarket, if you go to your nearest Target, you're not going to be able to find much chocolate from South Asia. It's not going to be possible. So with these kind of, they're called like super, like premium, called like premium markets. Instead of kind of appealing to a supermarket, it's trying to market this product in these locations where there's a huge variety and different prices for all these products, that it's easy for the consumer to compare. So once they kind of see something like Hardy Harvest and their kind of chocolate in a bag that's made out of cacao beans from the Philippines, that's kind of not really heard of. So once you hear that out of everything that's there, that kind of appeals more. So that's why these kind of super, kind of hybrid markets are kind of more than the regular kind of retail market. So that's why these are the bigger keys of success to marketing these products, rather than trying to sell it either online or again at a regular supermarket, because that's where a lot of the generic stuff is kind of sold. And as Ferdinand mentioned, premium is the key word, and wherever you find premium in these kind of limited stores around, then that's kind of where the people will go and look for the product, instead of again going to a retail market and not finding anything different with a lot of variety.
Well, again, how does that apply to the way somebody would market their products here? They need to know that. They need to know where they need to put their money, their advertising budget, their marketing budget. A lot of people, obviously, if you're from another, if you're from the Philippines trying to go into the U.S. market, obviously you're just going to think it's just all you need to do is just do everything online. But some of the things that needs to be said, and I think she said it, is that sometimes it could just be a regional approach. You could just take a product like Hardy Harvest, someone like them, and maybe just concentrate on a regional part of maybe Southern California, LA, or maybe Northern California, Central California, and have it in certain places. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that I'm always preaching, so to speak, is that you don't have to always be in the Costco's of the world or Walmart and things of that nature. A lot of the times you just need to get the product in and try it out. It could actually be just something regional, or it could be something specialty, like again, going back and forth with what you and I are saying about premium chocolates, or just a niche for these type of products all day long, right? So that's exactly what I'm just trying to convey to all of the clients of Planet 63 at the end of the day, which you've done already, Joseph. Now,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Did you want to add something to that before I ask you the next one?
Yeah, so I think I just kind of wanted to mention the niche market. So that was kind of the key word for this type of market, because it's a premium product that's not really similar to any other one. So that's why these niche markets, where these kind of tastes of the consumers are very specific. So that's why, like you said, these markets it's advertising itself. Once people actually buy a product and they like it, then they start to post it and share it with their friends. So kind of all they would have to do is find like a small niche market in Southern California. Los Angeles is the top business concentration percentage in California, followed by San Diego and Orange County. So kind of with that, it's just needing to find like a little small, like Ferdinand said, niche market, and from there it's kind of just like self-advertising. From there it would branch out, and it would be a huge kind of promotion. That's kind of the thing consumers look for now, is like a personal touch rather than, like you said, online. So that's great.
Yeah, because as amazing as an online strategies is, sometimes like a Hardy Harvest would also be would be amazing when you combine that with customer service coming into the US, right? And really truly, because as much as I'm amazed at Amazon and the logistics and all of that, there's going to come a point, at least I feel personally, that customer service has to come in now, and I feel like I'm important. And I think the industry is doing that. I'm just saying that when you combine that with Hardy Harvest and the way they do it, and like they really curate the stuff and really tailor it to you, and the way they deliver the products and customize the delivery and all that good stuff, I think that's another added thing. But obviously they're just trying to get in here, but that's just something to look forward to, I think, with any product, whether it be Cacao or any other products in the Philippines, is trying to strive. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about money. At the end of the day, you did some amazing research on the potential. I think you kind of mentioned it already, but I sort of want to hover around that and cite some numbers and things of that nature. But before you do all that, let's go ahead and do a quick little break, and we'll get right into that. Okay. And we're back. Again, for all those people who just tuned in, you are watching a special edition of Planet 63's From Local to Global. And we're talking about market research. And joining me today is, again, an amazing writer, student intern at Cal State University San Bernardino's Global Access Program. He majoring in international business, and he's helping me out to discuss or break down market research. Again, he's been writing amazing content for different industries that are being focused towards Philippine manufacturers, so they can get an idea of how to bring products into the U.S. market. And again, please welcome Mr. Joseph Videz. Hey, Joseph.
Hello, Ferdinand. Thank you for your kind introduction. I appreciate it.
Again, before we went on a break, I sort of teased everybody. I want to talk about money, right?
Yes.
The reality is that people want to expand their market from the Philippines into the U.S., not only because they're proud of their products, obviously, but they want to grow their business. Why not? Because the part that I will always say in each of these shows is that when you export, you're expanding your choice, your opportunity, not just in the country where the product is at, because not just because you want to rule the world, so to speak, but if something's happening in a particular country, then just sort of like right now, okay, this is my own little soapbox. Again, it's my own little soapbox. If a particular country is having difficulty because of what's happening with COVID, this is a time to delve into other markets. Right now, the U.S. is doing relatively well compared to other countries in terms of having some sort of managing this whole, the pandemic. So right now, the market here is amazing. So if you are thinking about trying to figure out other ways of generating income, then definitely U.S. is the place. And with that being said, this is the part where Joseph gets to tell you what's the potential for Philippine manufacturers here in the U.S. when it comes to the cacao industry or the chocolate industry. So take it away, Joseph.
Thank you, Ferdinand. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and focus on some numbers for the 2021 chocolate and candy industry here in the U.S. So from there, we kind of go into in 2021, the candy revenue ringing in 10.9 billion total in the U.S. So kind of from there, it branches out to a lot of different subcategories. So for our chocolate snacks here, our candy, chocolate, and snacks made up 19.2% of that 10.9 billion revenue, which comes out to an estimated 2.10 billion. It is not really. It is the third largest subcategory in the candy. Everything else kind of branches out into like the fruit and things like that. Those are a little bit more popular because they can be made into like more organic and healthier snacks for people to eat. So again, we're going to go back into the specialty food stores. So these food stores are kind of the key into the premium product market for those such as Hardy Harvest. And we're going to go ahead and be personal research. So some personal research conducted by another company called Mintel in 2017 discovered that even though there was a rise in prices for in snacks, chips, and chocolates, candies, things like that, rose in overall 11.8% from 2015 to 2017. Now, this is pre-COVID, but again, the growth after COVID-19 results are even higher annually. So people are just kind of seeing these treats as little ways to raise their emotions. So kind of if people are feeling down and things like that, if they're at a store, they'll go ahead and grab maybe a small snack, a small chocolate. So with that, that's why, especially after COVID, with kind of tensions rising in the U.S., a lot of people feel they need more time to snack or set apart for themselves specifically, rather than having to succumb to stress. So again, we're going to go back into the industry. California being the highest in consumer percentages of the concentration inside California, with 14% compared to 9.2% of New York and 6.6% of Florida. So with that, we'll go ahead and look into the regional aspect inside of California. So with that, we're going to go ahead and describe Los Angeles. Los Angeles County is the highest demanding in these type of in the markets of snacks and chocolates and candies, with a concentration of a total 26.2%, followed by Orange County with only a 9.56%. Now, this has a lot to do with the demographic inside Los Angeles County. So there are a lot of diverse. It's mixed with people with a lot of different preferences and mixtures of race and ethnicities. So that's why it ranges from 26% Los Angeles all the way to 9 in Orange County. So that's kind of a huge gap in kind of business concentration within California. So that's kind of like a little key there for what we can expect from kind of the 23 to 41-year-old range. That's kind of the key into this market.
And it's so funny that you mentioned all of that, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of Filipinos in those markets. I'm just throwing that in there only because, again, those are what is going to support some of these products that are coming in from the Philippines, and that's how they can be supported. Again, that's just more like a side note. It's probably not in any research book or whatever, but at the end of the day, those are major markets that you need to consider, knowing that there's a lot of Filipinos, and again, they're directed towards the Philippine manufacturers in those cities that Joseph just mentioned. And again, those things that you just mentioned in terms of the amount of money, the potential of it, those areas, and why right now it's even more relevant, because obviously, like I said in the beginning of the hour, I said that a lot of people are sort of in this, they need some comfort with all things going on. Basically, that's what I'm just trying to say. And knowing now that we sort of established that it's actually even a health food, it can even actually help us. This is fantastic. That's even more so now that you want to go ahead and consume a lot of chocolate, Joseph. But of course, exercise, okay? Not just consume it, because it does have calories.
Yeah, of course. I know I will be eating more dark chocolate after running this research. I didn't think it was going to be okay for you, but I honestly have eaten a little bit of dark chocolate only because of this research, and I've actually went out and bought some. Got to find a good brand first, though.
Well, a lot of the research that you have, and I'm trying to manage our time when it comes to our presentation here, because I'm sure a lot of people want to kind of, maybe what we should do now is, knowing that we sort of lit a fire, or sort of hopefully woken up, I should, Philippine manufacturers in terms of the potential. Why don't we take the remainder of the show and sort of give a recommendation, because some of your recommendation has been, when I read it was amazing. So with that being said, let's sort of hover around your recommendation. And again, by the way, just in case, for all those people who, whether they've experienced a technical difficulty, they can't watch his video again, blah, blah, blah. All of Joseph's research is on website, www.planet63.com, under blogs. And then you can just download it from there. And I'm sure Joseph doesn't mind. If you want him to, do an autograph, he'll do it. Right, Joseph? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you guys want an autograph, I'll send you guys one. That's all right. You guys think this?
And it's free, right, Joseph? And it's free for them to just go check it out.
Of course, yes. And the Planet 63 does have a lot of amazing things to look at into their website, especially their products. And if you guys want to learn more about Planet 63, I would also go into their Facebook and look into their product line through there. They are an amazing company, and I found out a lot through them, and I found their stuff perfect.
I thank you for that. And I didn't have to pay him for that. He just said it. So he's not going to get extra credit for saying that to me. Anyway, so why don't we use the remainder of the show to talk about really quickly your recommendation for anybody in that industry in the Philippines, and what they should consider and try to, figure out how to be successful in the U.S. market. So why don't you go ahead and do that?
Okay, so thank you, Ferdinand. So the recommendation, especially for this industry, the barriers to entry are low. So that's a really good thing, especially for small companies such as Hardy Harvest. And that's because the presence of the bigger companies have allowed kind of these smaller companies to come in through the cracks. And again, like I mentioned, these premium markets instead of regular super retail markets, these premium markets or these niche markets are kind of the target for these kind of foreign products. And that's because a lot of the people go into these premium markets because retailers are now barely trying to reach into globalizing their products and trying to find different chocolates in, such as foreign products is what I'm trying to get across. So with that feedback, it is clear that the market image has to be known. So with that being seen, that's kind of one of the key aspects is having to know a clear picture of how much is going to be spent on the advertisements. And a lot of it is kind of like I mentioned earlier, it's self-advertising. So from going into these niche markets, and once these products perform well, they kind of get advertised by the market that they're being sold at, and from there people kind of post it on their social medias and share it with their families and friends, and that's kind of how these products grow. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it by saying Planet 63 offers a lot, and in advantaging and kind of sourcing and locating these products and markets to bring into the U.S. Again, to try to relate into more Philippine products here in the U.S., which are much appreciated by a lot of the diverse people here within Southern California. And so that's kind of where I would want to go into the recommendation is kind of great. And Planet 63 can help any small company kind of find their way into these little markets.
Well, and to a certain degree, I appreciate what you just said, right? Again, we as a company is a niche player because obviously there's not really a lot of companies dealing with Philippine manufacturers. And I say that because I am proud of that, because there's really not one company creating that sort of a notoriety. But I don't say that to boast. I say it because there needs to be more. And one of the things that I'm always trying to figure out is how can I, as the company, also be able to unify a lot of the resources in the community to create awareness of Philippine products in the U.S. market. But at the end of the day, I'm just very, very thankful that I was able to collaborate, or I'm able to collaborate with Cal State University San Bernardino and Global Access Program. I want to thank Frank Lin, Dr. Vipin Gupta and Jamie Ayala, and obviously you. And then I've had other also interns in the past that has helped me create that. And that's what's, like I said at the beginning of the show, I said, thank you so much for that, because that's provided a lot of goodwill towards the manufacturers, because they're hungry for that. They're hungry for market research. And I did a little survey. You saw it on Facebook. People are always asking, what is it here? It's just like anything else. It only is common sense. If you're going to go, whether you have a business or you want to just live in another country, you do your research trying to figure out how to effectively be there, or what's the best way and where to live and all that stuff. And that's what all you and I are doing here, Joseph. Again, you just are very prolific when in being able to create a lot of interesting perspective in terms based on obviously the sources that you found to be able to quote these things. And that's what I enjoyed reading. And again, what other, so that we can get them a preview of what other sources that what other industry you've researched. Can you I'm having a moment, so I'm trying to remember what other ones that you've already done, Joseph.
I've done a lot of papers for Ferdinand. I kind of just send them his way whenever I finish them. So I've kind of we've recently started me and him together doing research on clothing. So clothing, we kind of did a scarf company called Anthology last week. We're kind of still getting together more pieces for an extensive clothing research rather than just scarves. So this is kind of one of the markets that Ferdinand has introduced me to. I've also done not only just kind of small snacks, we've done seafood as well. We've done organic products ranging from coconut to turmeric kind of turmeric mixed health ingredients and many more products.
Yeah, right now, you like I said, you do such amazing, turnaround when it comes to researching. You research, you've gotten information from Ibis World, which is a big place. Sort of a shout out, I guess, for giving them credit for some of the stuff that you found and put together. So hopefully you'll continue to do that. And here's where I want to say and end the show now. I hope that the Philippine manufacturers have taken away some of the cues from the basic research that you've done, Joseph. Now, these are all on their website. Like I said, www.planet63.com. Now, these are not meant to be like your extensive research. Again, I reiterate, it's meant for Philippine manufacturers to digest and kind of get a feel for what the U.S. market is all about, and then have them continue to do more research. We're just starting it for you. We're trying to entice you, if you want to call it that, to be here in the U.S. market at the end of the day. So the thing that you need to do is you got to consider it. It's a tiny bit of information. Now, again, please tune in, continue to support the show so that we can continue to provide information to Philippine manufacturers, as well as anyone who wants to go ahead and create a business using Philippine-made products. Now, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel under Planet 63. There will be more discussions about the U.S. market, again, pertaining to various types of product and relevant to Philippine-made products. Now, thank you for watching, and I hope that you continue to watch and support. And again, I want to go ahead and say thank you again to Cal State University San Bernardino Global Access Program, Dr. Vipin Gupta, Dr. Frank Lin, Jamie Ayala, and all of the interns that have worked with Planet 63. And then I will leave it at this, where I get to tell Joseph, hey, Joseph, what do you want to say to everybody else? And this is being our first type of show where we provide market research. What do you want to say, my friend?
I would like to say, first of all, thank you to Ferdinand for giving me this opportunity in his company and sharing my research with everybody. And again, thanking the Cal State University of San Bernardino Global Access Program, to Jamie Ayala, again, for being the main administrator for me and Ferdinand meeting together. And again, Dr. Vipin Gupta for inspiring me and kind of into this marketing field. And I would kind of just want to close it with, again, thank you to Planet 63 and Ferdinand for giving me this opportunity.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.